see what's going on.
Hello.
There we go. Is it the new Skype or something?
No, I don't know what happened. Every now and then that happens. I didn't pick up in time.
Okay, all right, that's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Hutch Bailey Jr., the Godfather of War Radio. What's up, Hutch?
Oh, man. Hey, I didn't know we were on the air. Good evening, Wayne.
Yeah,
and everybody that's listening.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I haven't even put out anything yet, and just starting a little bit off. I mean, honestly, not feeling good.
Really?
Yeah, not feeling good. Not feeling good, but I'm looking at. I had to switch back from the YouTube. Like YouTube gave me the new YouTube without asking me. There is a new YouTube coming out, I guess, and I guess I signed up for it. I guess I don't know, but it looks awesome actually. But it just didn't give me the chat, and I let them know it didn't give me the chat. So, I was like, "Yeah, you're out of there. Forget it."
Did they straighten you up after that?
No, I'm looking at the old one, and it has, it's like every time you know what? I think there's a ghost in my office.
I think he's got a position over here too.
I'm serious, because
things happen, and it's like, why can't I answer, Wayne? I've been on the radio with him since 2012. What's going on?
I know. I have a carpet that's in the floor that I have to straighten out every freaking day. I have to straighten out every freaking day, and I know that I'm not scuffing on it, and and I'm just walking on it. But every morning when I wake up, it seems like the camera tripod has moved backwards. So you have like the carpet that is on top of the carpet is like there's creases in it from moving backwards. I'm like, why? Do I have a spirit watching over me or something? Which wouldn't be all that bad or anything, but how was your day, man?
It makes you wonder. It was pretty good. It was the complexity and the absolute greatness of what has happened is starting to kick in. It's starting when you realize that we have totally destroyed.
Yes.
They did it themselves, but totally destroyed the Democrat crime family to the point where they have nothing in D.C.
That's right.
They have nothing. They have 15 governorships, and that's all. Mm-hmm. So right now, I'm going to challenge you people in D.C., change the culture in the city.
Yeah.
The Democrats have been running the culture in that city for decades and decades. You're in charge now. Start changing it. Go to different clubs. Mm-hmm. Go to different restaurants. Mm-hmm. Start getting it to where it's yours.
Mm-hmm. 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 Let me also say this too. There's something coming up in the year 2018. Okay, we're working on it. 2018, we're working on it. So be ready to at least take a day or two to travel to Washington, D.C. I'm just letting you know. I'm putting that out there right now because we are America, and we're going to fight the liberal agenda all the way. This is our new phase. There's something that we're going to do. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. I'm already talking to one of the people right now that has experience in setting something like this up. So 2018 is going to be huge, and Hutch is going to be there. I'm going to be there, and and believe me, I have great contacts, and you'll be able to hear some of those contacts in the near future. As a matter of fact,
that's true. Let me just personify that a little bit. Whenever we go to these events, Wayne and I are a team. But I can never walk anywhere with them because as we're walking, somebody knows them. And I'm like, where'd you go? Man, we were just, he's back there.
I know.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
I remember a CPAC last year. I had my head down. My head was down, but I'm walking toward Radio Row, and Governor Perry just steps in front of me and say, "Hey, big man." I was like, "Hey, Governor, how you doing?" And he was like, are you going to be interviewing me while we're here? I said, sir, look, I'm trying. I'm trying to work it out. Well, look, I love what you're doing. You're the radio show guy. That's what he called me, the radio show guy, with his Texas accent. And that's another reason why I had supported him from the get-go. I like Governor Perry.
Oh, I still do. I
like Governor Perry. Governor Perry is a maverick, man. He's a Christian maverick, But many of you have been asking where Cam is. Cambry Nelson. Cambry Nelson is no longer with the show. And most of you need to understand that this is not a full-time job for us. We're volunteers. And then we all have families. And jobs take precedence. And caring for families take precedence. And Hutch knows it. I know it. We've had Alyssa, Angel.
Well, we've had so many.
Alyssa, so many. Angel. Chris, Cam, Kat, and the Muslim Brotherhood. We had them. So, it's like the mainstays for the last 4 years. Has it been 4 years?
It's been since 2012.
Okay. All right.
So that's 4.
The mainstays, Hutch and myself.
And Alicia.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Alicia Smith. Oh, my God. She is mom. She's straight up mom. And
from the beginning, too.
She contacted me. I can't remember how she did it, but she contacted me and said that, we talked about the election and we talked about politics and stuff. And she's actually the one that set me on my way. She set me on my way, and I made it to every conference for about a year or a year and a half. And
hey, this is the danger of listing names, too. Let's not forget Stacy.
Stacy Rush. Stacy Rush is also a mainstay. She's with us every Monday night. And Mona. So, we've had a lot of people come in and out. And for the most part, I even remember when Hutch left, too.
I got fired once, but I you know what I mean? I don't have tissue paper feelings. We got a job to do.
Yeah, but Hutch is my guy. Hutch is my guy. So that, listen, we're going to take phone calls tonight. We're going to take phone calls, but I just want to let everybody know we are in the next, everybody's talking about phase. The next phase for us, well, actually we have 2 phases. The first one is the national syndication, but the second one is huge. And as a matter of fact, if most of y'all don't know, I was, and I still am, I'm a Tea Party member. I'm not a Republican. I vote Republican, but I'm a Tea Party member. And I used to travel with the Tea Party Express from state to state. We used to go and do our, how do you call it? We used
to whistle stop.
Yeah, we used to speak to people in the heartland about the elections and stuff. Well, I'm always going to be Tea Party. I'm always going to be somebody that is going to fight against the government. Okay, because until the government gets right, because the government continues to want to destroy what we have. Okay, they want to take, basically put themselves in the way of what.
There were so many of them that did it. Trent Lott, right off the bat, said that we need to co-opt these people. And there was problems with, I can't remember the guy's name now, but there was big-time politicians that tried to infiltrate it. And it just it got nasty for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, we are going to press on, and we wish Cam well, and whatever her next phase is that she is working on. And, it's almost like the Jackson 5. we could find somebody else to put in there for a while, if they come in. But right now, I mean, basically what we want to do, we want to keep on delving out the message. We want to reach more voices. We want to reach more ears, and then we want to create more voices, because that's been our job from the beginning. We want to create. Victoria says yes. Cole McNeely. Hey, when Cole gets out of school, Cole will be back. So I like Cole.
He's actually in school, and he has a scholarship,
Hillsdale,
that he learned on the program, actually, for communications, and he went to the Republican National Convention with us, did a great job. He needs a little work in his fashion, but other than that, I mean, he had a bright red suit. He needed a pimp cane no, I'm just kidding. He did a good job, though. He did.
Yeah, Cole McNeely. Cole McNeely to me.
So did Cam. I mean, everybody.
Oh man. I mean,
David Redmond, great job.
Everybody that has been on here has been knowledgeable and has done a great job. Okay, we really haven't had anybody that sucked.
No, I'm a prick, and I'll tell you that. If you sound bad, I'm going to tell you.
He scares people, though.
We're gonna square it away. You're not going to come on here sounding like you're on one of them $3 Radio Shack mics.
He is scare people, though. He's like,
I have, but I didn't mean it.
No. He's like, I love you, but you got to do something with that mic. You got to do something with that mic, because that mic it is
wrong.
It's not professional. As a matter of fact, Hutch even told me about my banner one time. He was like, "Can't you lower that thing?" I said, "No." Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise guest host tonight, Mr. Jacob Seals. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Get on him, Hutch.
What's up with that echo, Jacob? Come on, you're a sound guy.
What are you talking about, echo?
No, you're sounding all right. You're good.
Oh boy, it sure does feel good to have a few days to rest. I'll tell you that much, man.
Oh man, you're so right. I'm telling you, it's now we can just kick back. We don't have to worry. The Constitution's no longer on fire. Mm-hmm. The Supreme Court is no longer a threat. Now we can sit back and watch the magic begin.
Watch the magic begin, and I'll tell you, I've got a lot of people, because I don't know if a lot of people know, but I spent a lot of time growing up in Iowa, in the Quad Cities, which is pretty much borders, right on Illinois there. So, I mean, I had my share of more classic liberal, but a lot of left-leaning people that I dealt with. That includes music students and stuff, but they're always really nice. But the backlash that we've had in the past few days has been bittersweet, if you really think about it, just to kind of touch base on that, because, on one hand, I think all of us have kind of a yearning for leftist tears. But on the other side of it, I think the whole thing is too, we should, I don't know. I want to make a pledge to some people to try and I'm really bad about this. I'm going to go ahead. I've had my fun with people. I'm not going to lie. So there's some hypocritical, basis to what I'm saying. But I do want to say I'm trying really hard to be as respectful about, what has happened and trying to unify. I do think that's important, because I think
I'm not trying to unify nothing. I don't look. All those people that pissed on President-elect Trump and call them names, I don't want them on our side. I really don't.
Let's look at the two different groups, though. You have the professional politicians and the people in the media that will get no quarter from me, but the voters, if you listen to some of these people, they have been so lied to and so brainwashed, they actually believe Donald Trump is a misogynist and a racist. Yeah. They believe that.
Yep.
And those are the people that need to be talked to and say, look, this guy is going to be better for you than he is for me. Mm-hmm. He is going to cut taxes to the point where you might get out of McDonald's and get a factory job.
Somebody asked me tonight, or wanted to start an argument with me. They were an economics major. And they're like, but the unemployment rate is 4.7%. I was like, you really don't believe that, do you? No. The unemployment is 4.7%. I was like, dude, the real unemployment rate is close to 10%, and for blacks is over 15-16%. No, man,
Yep.
I don't know. Dude, there's 95 million people out of work, over 50 million people on food stamps. Well, I mean, but he's fussing with me. But Jacob, since we have you on as a guest host, ladies and gentlemen, we got 484 on the line. Go ahead, caller. What's your name?
Hey, my name is Blake Shellhammer
Hey, Blake.
from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Go ahead.
Man, I love this show. I'm a new caller. Just since the Trump train started up, I've been watching Mr. Dupree and Hutch, and I'm loving what they're saying. I'm digging what they're saying, but I have a quick question, if I may ask them.
Go ahead.
All right. Being that we're in the new movement, and you have to bear with me a little bit. I'm a little nervous.
No. You're fine. You're
No
fine.
worries, man.
Yeah.
Among friends.
Good. Being that we are in a new movement, and we are pretty much have the Democrats on the run, and they're pretty much, as I can see it, they're pretty much done. I don't think the Democrats are ever going to be having a seat in anything.
Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself on that.
You never can tell. I mean, weird things are happening. I mean, California's talking about, leaving the United States, and all kinds of crazy things are going on. So, just as hypothetically speaking.
Sure.
But because we are in a new movement, I was wondering if there is going to be a chance for Trump to actually get into office before the end of the month and do things a little differently.
Well, I mean, honestly, and thank you for your call, man. I really appreciate it. I'm kind of, that was Blake, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Seals is our guest co-host tonight. I'm kind of pumped and psyched because Mike Pence, and believe me, I was not on board with Mike Pence to start off with. Okay, I was not. I wanted somebody else.
He grew on us.
He grew on us. But
Yeah.
now he's in charge of the transition team. Do you know what that really means? That means that conservative Mike Pence is going to get some conservatives to put into these different things. You're going to have conservatives, real conservatives in the cabinet. You're going to have conservatives on the Supreme Court. Come on, dude. I mean, liberals want to talk about utopia. This just might be our utopia.
Yeah. It very well
This just
very
might
well
be our
could be.
utopia.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we have to be careful of, and this was one of the reasons that I did not want Newt Gingrich to be the vice president, is there's a lot of viruses that are swimming around out there that are going to try to burrow themselves inside this administration. And I'm going to say something that everybody's going to hate me for, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's the way I feel. Kellyanne Conway did an excellent job during the campaign. She did a smackdown job. She actually broke glass ceilings for women in politics by doing the job that she did.
I agree.
But I want everybody to understand where Kellyanne Conway came from. Her last job before this one was working for Zuckerberg, and she was a paid surrogate to ensure that the Gang of Eight amnesty program went through. And she was in Marco Rubio's left pocket. And I'm not saying that she's bad, but I'm saying if she gets put in a position inside the campaign, we need to make sure that she's vetted and she keeps that skeleton inside the closet and doesn't go into Donald Trump's ear and start talking about amnesty. She did it once, if you remember, during the campaign when Donald Trump started getting a little bit soft on amnesty, and I think Stephen K. Bannon came in and said, whoa, and he changed his tune right away. But there was a couple days there, if you remember, and that's where it came from. It came from her, just because of her background. I wasn't there, but I'm just surmising.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think one thing that we need to maintain is that conservatism. We are generally a more honest people. I think that we have more of we're willing to acknowledge when there are things that are not right, and especially things when they're not perfect. As long as we're able to do that, and as long as we're able to acknowledge with President Trump, as long as we're able to tell him, hey, look, some of these things maybe you should reconsider. I think that's a fair point. We know that there's no such thing as a perfect presidency or a perfect situation in politics. There's always some kind of underlying, there's going to be people that are unhappy, obviously, on the right. I mean, I think the Never Trumper kind of thing is real small now. I think a lot of them have kind of said, you know what, we need to stick with them. That's the kind of attitude we need. But I totally agree with you, Hutch. I think as long as, to use Hillary's word, transparent, as long as everybody's transparent about that, it's okay. It's okay to draw up constructive criticisms, I think. Though I will say, I remember talking to my mom about this. A lot of people don't really know, but it took me a long time to warm up to Trump. It really did. It took me a while. I was really I was more of a Rand Paul guy until became an isolationist. I think by trade I'm more of a conservatarian myself. So it took me a while to build up to him, and there was a lot of things. I used to have talks with my mom about why she was dead set on saying he was the only one that could win this, and I thought there's no way. And after all this time came along, it's unbelievable. Well, the first thing she said to me was pretty much "told you so" when I called her the night that he won after being in the office for 15 hours. Yeah. And you know what? I realized that there's imperfections with everybody. It's okay to have that as long as we can announce that, and as long as we can be honest about it. I'm okay with it because we know he's not perfect, and we know that he is human. I think maybe that's probably the biggest thing for me is that he's a human being. That's a special. You don't see that very often in politics.
Well, you know what? I think when he came on the show, it was right before he announced that he was running. He came on the show, and he told me and Angel, he was like, I got a big announcement coming up. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. I said, okay, all right, Mr. Trump. And, but you would know from the way that he is so confident, if you hung around him, you know that you were going to win. You know that you were going to win. He didn't get in this to lose. You see what I'm saying? If he didn't think that he really had a shot, and he looked at these people jumping into the race, and he felt that, look, John McCain didn't do it, Mitt Romney didn't do it, I can do it. I can do it.
There's tape of him when he had brown hair talking to Oprah Winfrey about running for president years and years ago. He waited until he was 69. He paid attention and he waited. Mm-hmm. And he dropped the bomb right when it was necessary. I mean, you're right when you say he's a normal person, because if he wasn't normal, he'd be a politician.
We got 423.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We got 423 on the line. Go ahead, 423. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller.
Okay. I wanted to call and ask if Wayne his opinion on if it would be a good time for the Republicans to work on a national voter ID platform. So when as we build, as we come to where the Democratic Party is rebuilding, we're ready with a firewall for protection for just a free, fair vote.
You know what though, and what's your name? Steve. Here is my thing though. Okay, because the leaders in the Republican Party, virtually Hutch and I have been really fighting them for the last few years. But here's what needs to happen if we are going to do that. We need to get knowledgeable people to go into the communities and explain why this needs to happen. That it is not a suppression type of thing. That we aren't trying to take away anybody's vote. We need people to go in and I don't know, hold classes, whatever. But Hickory we have to educate,
Use a fingerprint. Every black person has a fingerprint. Every Hispanic person has a fingerprint. Exactly. There's technology that we can do this.
Right, but you still have to go into those neighborhoods and explain, this is what we're doing. Fine, if we're going to use fingerprint, then let's explain. This is what we're doing, okay? I mean, and now you don't need for you to go down but I can also see how that fingerprint might not work.
Maybe that's not the right thing, but I'm saying what you're
I can
saying.
see
You know,
that.
it's we got to get something
Yeah.
that is transparent. And if the Democrat is the overwhelming winner, then fine. That's fine.
If they don't
but let's
cheat,
at least
yeah.
do it fair.
Right.
Yes.
And reaching out, it's like you were saying, reaching out to the communities. I think that's a fantastic. That's one of the things that helped Trump win, by the way. Reaching out to the minority voters is that he actually gave a damn enough to actually go in and speak to these people in their communities. These people. But you know what I mean. I mean, he really came in and he said, "Look." When he says, "What the hell do you have to lose?" That really resonated with me in a way. I'm like, wow, that absolutely. Like, what the hell do they have to lose? Anyways.
Here's the thing, though.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Thanks for your call.
Yep. Thank you for taking the call.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
With the voter fraud, Romney got 7%. I might be wrong a little bit here, but I know it's 1%. Romney got 7%. Trump only got 8%. Are you telling me there's not voter fraud there? We've had hundreds of black people call this program that were Trump supporters. That's voter suppression right there.
Yeah. But I tell you,
1%.
But I tell you, the biggest voter suppression is when the media gets on TV and the media starts putting all this stuff up before the elections, trying to rattle people, trying to depress people from even voting. That's voter suppression. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
That's voter suppression. We got Techno Beats on the line. What's up, TB?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, listen,
Hey.
I just want to say, all these people that toss their vote, it doesn't matter in the United States of America. We're built on a tradition of, we're not a democracy. We're not a pure democracy.
Right.
We are a Republican, constitutional republic.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
We have the system. We have an electoral college system. If we had the popular vote from the beginning, slavery would have been, it wouldn't have been fixed.
Yep.
Our founding fathers knew that we had to have a certain system. The popular vote does not matter.
When did the popular
and eventually
vote?
the trashy voices of the liberal lefties will fade away and diminish over time. Trump will install law and order in January, and these rioters, they'll be stopped or jailed. It's a federal felony to stage a riot across state lines.
Right, it is, and
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked about that last night. It is a federal crime for Techno Beats, who could be from Nevada, to to go out and say, we are going to do a violent protest in Ohio, and we want everybody to show up. So when everybody shows up, Techno Beats drives into town. He's there. There's violence, and then he goes back to Nevada. That's against the law.
That's against the law. It's a federal felony.
It's a federal offense, right? And Sharpton, Sharpton has been doing it. He's been inciting violence for years.
And it's on the books, right? Like that offense is on the books.
Oh yeah,
they
no.
just don't persecute.
Yeah.
Right.
But Trump will do that.
I hope so. Or
I hope so.
Or whoever he puts in charge of the attorney general.
Of the DOJ and the attorney general.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking, the DOJ, once all these riots are going crazy, right? Like liberals are just flying up crazy. Once Trump has a DOJ and they start to persecute these people,
prosecute.
I think it'll go away.
Prosecute.
Yeah.
We don't want to
persecute, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, TB.
I'm just so excited, man. I love you guys, but I'm so excited. But it's such a shame. Like, I really wanted to celebrate like crazy, but at the same time, it's like,
do it.
I got to watch all these protests and these cities burn. It's like taking away from my.
Look,
the left, literally, they are just a bunch of party poopers.
Yeah,
I mean, they ruin everything.
If they can't have their pacifier, and thanks for the call. If they can't have their pacifier, if they can't have their way, they're going to go stomping through the hallway.
This is what happens when you give a bunch of kids trophies for participation after they lost the game so bad they shouldn't even be able to wear the uniform. I
don't remember.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I hate interrupting. I don't remember in 08 and 12. Now, keep in mind, I was younger. I wasn't even in my 20s quite yet. But I don't recall if really anybody on the conservative side was complaining about the Electoral College when we lost. Now, I don't even have the numbers in front of me, but Romney, did he actually win the popular vote or not?
No, he got blown out.
The thing with the popular vote that you got to understand.
He got blown out.
Yeah, but let's go back to Gore, to Bush Gore.
Okay, well, you can go back to that.
They said that Gore won the popular vote.
Right.
But the thing is, they didn't count. The only way they count the absentee ballots is if they could make a difference. So they didn't count them. Right. Anyway, that's stuff people don't want to hear. But, the Electoral College is a brilliant, brilliant system. And the way I explain it is, look at the map.
I don't like it.
Look at the red blue map.
I don't like it. And
the Electoral College,
it's pretty crazy.
No, I really don't.
Here's the thing.
Because hold on, wait. Did you see what happened up there in Oregon? The Democratic electoral guy said that if Hillary Clinton won, that he wasn't going to vote for her. That's what he said.
Well, he could say that.
And yes, he would have to pay a fine, but he said, I'll pay the fine, but I ain't going to vote for her. But the Electoral College really, honestly, to me, I mean, I know people have explained it, but to me, if somebody gets the popular vote, and for those out there, they're still counting the votes, and Donald Trump is getting closer and closer to overtaking Hillary Clinton with the popular vote, even though Democrats for the next 4 years will say that he didn't, he is gaining the popular vote. But to me, the popular vote tells me what is really happening. That's the majority of the people.
The popular vote, if we allowed the presidential election to be called by the popular vote,
I know.
New York and California would determine who ruled us for the rest of our time.
That's true.
Yep.
Well,
and that's something that should scare the hell out of everybody.
Yep.
And that's why I say, if you look at that red and blue map, and I'm not talking about the one that fills the whole state up.
Yeah, but you can't cheat with the popular vote, though. Can you?
Well, sure you can.
Yeah,
how in my county? Now, every county surrounding me in the whole state of Pennsylvania voted red. Every Trump sign, every sign in my county, it was 50-1 Trump. And they're telling me in my county, my corrupt county that includes Pittsburgh, that Hillary Clinton won 100,000 votes above Trump. That did not happen, but that's what's registered. It's corrupt. It's totally. If we didn't have the Electoral College, we'd never see another Republican elected on a national office ever. I
was just thinking this, though, and I'm going to run it past both of you. I don't think another Democrat is going to be elected in the next 16 years.
I tend to agree with you, but
I'm serious. I really don't.
But we have to be careful because we're different than them. As Jacob mentioned at the beginning of the program, we have no problem disagreeing with each other.
Great.
We do it civilly, but we do it all the time. We have executed so many of our own, figuratively speaking, candidates over the years. The Democrats don't do that. The Democrats it's the party. The party is the number one thing. You look at Debbie Wasserman Schultz, you look at Bobo Brazil, you look at all these people. It's all about the party. If anybody says anything out of lockstep, they're out.
Hey, we got a call on the line. 571, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hans, I'm calling from Vienna, Virginia.
Go ahead, man.
What's up, man?
So, something you guys haven't talked too much about is, I called the election the second Trump entered the political arena. And how I managed to do that is the economic data supported it. Everybody that's not on the coast everybody's broke. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
If you look at, all the factories moved away, 70%, I believe it's around 70% of the population doesn't go to college. So, back in the, so it's that and the money supply. So the money supply is not stable. The Federal Reserve, prints money, takes more of your dollars to go out and buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the levels of inflation, and everything's gone up. College, food, housing, and you look at the excuse me, you look at the iPhones and TVs and things that you don't really need. that stuff has gone down. So that's why they say, inflation is not that high, and also oil is, the demand's not there. So that the economic piece, basically what I'm saying is the economic piece of this is not something a lot of people understand, and that, that was a big driver because
Right.
people are hurting.
Hey, Hein, thank you for your call. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Barack Obama had rolled into office in 2008 and worked on the economy, things would be a whole lot different right now. But he didn't. He decided that he didn't want to help people with the job situation, and he wanted to put the Obamacare. He wanted to get the health care thing pushed through since they had a supermajority. They didn't need. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, they didn't need no help from us. They closed us out.
Unprecedented.
They closed us out, and then got mad when we didn't want to participate, because at the time the Republicans were like, all right, bro, you don't want no insight.
And really, the economy. You have all these people talking about the economy. If you're not 50 years old, you don't remember the old economy. The old economy used to be based on making things. This is a different economy that we're in now. Mm-hmm. If you have a savings, if you have any kind of money in the bank, they're stealing your money. There's no interest being earned on anything. Anybody that has a savings account or any kind of account, what do you get a notification from your bank? You have one cent you made interest, 12 cents?
Or they are taking your information and creating 12 other accounts.
Wells Fargo, right?
Yeah, Wells Fargo. Hey, 661, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
John Campbell, Weldon, California.
What's up, John?
Hey, John. Well, I just wondered, I looked at the Drudge website, haven't seen nothing there, and I looked at the Fox News website, haven't seen nothing there, and I just tuned you folks in about 10 minutes ago, so I haven't heard the full part at the beginning of the show. Did anybody notice that today's Veterans Day?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's two veterans on the panel, at least two.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I just wondered. Usually they make a big thing out of it and have it splashed all over. Veterans Day sales, Veterans Day parade, Veterans Day everything. But today there's nothing.
Well,
Of course, I've always wondered about that in the process.
Well, I mean,
especially being that.
We're still
Did
under.
you ever notice how on Veterans Day, the only people that take the day off and get paid for it is the people who are in government, and the veterans expect to pull double shifts?
Well, that's true, but I work for the Army, so I'm going to go ahead and be okay with that.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
That's all right.
that's okay. Hey, John, thank you a lot for your phone call, man. Thank you.
Have a great day, boys.
All right. We are listening to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm on with Jacob and Godfather of War Radio, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. We're taking your calls, 202-470-6738. We got 479 on the line. What's up, 479?
Hey, well, hello there. It's wonderful. My name is Angela, and I'm from Arkansas.
Arkansas. No, I'm kidding.
Arkansas. Now, oh my goodness. I haven't really watched the news for a long time, and I kind of got hooked in through Twitter and stayed in through the multimedia. But for me, it was like I felt, the spirit of Reformation. It's not really a party at this point. It's like not Republican, not Democrat, but
Right.
It's like God just released a spirit of Reformation unlike anything I've seen before. I was, Martin Luther King, I was a child, but, Donald Trump is like revelatory.
Right.
And I'd like to hear your opinion, because to me, if we all come together united and not even just look at it as a party, but look at, like what you said, reach out to the people that are in the communities, that don't know more than being spoon-fed.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, thanks, Angela. Sorry about that, Angela. But no, you're right. You're right. I mean, it is not the Republican Party as we knew it. That is dead. The old guard is dead. You have individuals right now that are trying to latch back on to Donald Trump right now. If it were me, and I hold grudges, I hold grudges. If I was in Donald Trump's shoes, I would not let him even close to the White House. I wouldn't.
No, I agree. And I think that one of the things that the caller kind of alluded to, or this is not about Donald Trump.
No.
This is about us.
Yep.
It's not about Donald Trump. Donald Trump
He's a
Thank
messenger.
God he came on the scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's going to be our voice.
We've been asking.
But we have work to do.
We've been asking for somebody like this for a long time. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you really haven't looked at the situation that is in front of you right now, you have somebody that is not part of the media establishment, that somebody is not part of the political establishment, somebody that was elected by the people, not selected by those other two establishments. And they're pissed off, and they're angry, and they're mad. And for the next couple of years, they are going to be going after him. There will be some bad days. But
No doubt.
But y'all stood next to President-elect Trump. Y'all stood next to him, and you're going to have to keep on standing next to him to get through those days, because they're not going to give up. Somebody said earlier, Hutch and Jacob, somebody said earlier, Democrats don't give up. They don't give up. You saw what happened. You saw what happened out in California with that marriage, that the gay marriage thing. They lost. It got voted down. What did they do?
The courts came around and nullified.
They took it to the Supreme Court and overturned the people.
Yep.
Now, what I'd like to do is right along with what you're saying. This is the most powerful Democrat in the country. This is Senate Minority Harry Reid. And it's just a couple sentences of his reaction to the election by the people.
I think I saw that.
Of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
If this is going to be a time of healing, we must first put the responsibility for healing where it belongs, at the feet of Donald Trump, a sexual predator who lost the popular vote and fueled his campaign with bigotry and hate. Winning the Electoral College does not absolve Trump of the grave sins he committed against millions of Americans. Donald Trump may not possess the capacity to assuage those fears, but he owes it to this nation to try. That is the most powerful Democrat in the United States government. We have some work to do.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Wayne Dupree Show. I am Wayne Dupree, along with my co-host, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr., the Godfather of War Radio, and also Mr. Jacob Seals of the RSBN Network. But let's see. Let me see. We got Kim. We got Kim calling in from Ohio. What's up, Kim?
Hi, how are you, Wayne?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Hutch and Wayne, I want to say thank you for your service today on Veterans Day. First off,
thank you.
My pleasure.
My dad was in the Korean War and served on the USS Washburn.
Wow.
So,
thank you for his service.
Exactly.
I'm proud of him.
Thank him.
Too.
Yes.
And I have a son-in-law who was served in Iraq and Afghanistan, so I'm proud of him also. He rode in one of those Buffaloes, whatever that is.
Oh, that's a pretty impressive vehicle as far as IED goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he took care of the IEDs. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, first off, I want everybody to remember the mainstream media is still lying.
Oh yeah.
And
Always.
And they're reporting on the Trump transition, and they're talking about plugging this person in and that person in and this person. They're just full of it.
Right.
And everybody, and all of a sudden the Trump train is like, oh well, Wall Street Journal, or oh well, WAPO says this or that. You guys are still lying.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore that and wait for news to come out of the Trump transition team as far as who they're potentially thinking of putting in what position, instead of getting on your high horses and saying, well, I really don't appreciate if they were going to put him in this position. And
guilty.
Not, but understand, Wayne, I talked to you when the day he chose Pence. I called into you and I said, calm down, calm down.
You sure did.
Give Pence a chance. Let's figure out. Trump is smart. Trump reads people. Trump, he can look at somebody and figure out where they're put best, and he puts them in that position. He's one of those kind of people that's really a good discerner of of potential and a good discerner of if somebody is a shyster or not.
Well, thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Kim.
Pence,
Thank you so much.
Pence is you can tell Pence radiates, he radiates patriotism, and he absolutely comes across as a very kind and respectable gentleman. When we were covering his rallies and we had some of the cameras there, you could just, our camera guy was telling you could just look at people and watch. They were captivated. I mean, he'd be repeating the same kind of political speech, blah, 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 but there's just something about the way that he would interlock with people, kind of in the same way with Trump, but I think there's different characteristics. I mean, Trump was just more, he obviously bled patriotism, but I think he was, he is a funny guy and he is a very personable guy. Well, I think Pence is kind of like the other side of that coin. He is personable, but he's more stern, maybe in his delivery, and just, you can just tell that the man really loves the country. And I'll have to tell you, I'm getting really sick and tired of people on the left doing this buzzword argument nonsense. I've had so many of my quote friends on Facebook have been talking about how he's the most extreme VP pick, and they're bringing out this out this weird crap from I don't know if it was the 90s or the early 2000s, but you guys have heard about that electroshock therapy thing for homosexuals, right? And you guys have probably heard about that. I mean, my God, Barry
could have used some of that. But you're right.
It was so long ago. I can't wrap my head around that sometimes. It just drives me crazy.
Donald Trump got laid behind the bus in 1953. Come on now. It's ridiculous. It really is, man. I mean,
we got Carrie on the line. Carrie from Florida. What's up, Carrie?
Mr. Dupree.
Yes, sir.
I want to personally thank you for your service.
Well, thank you, man.
To this great country, because I've already thanked Mr. Bailey on his show.
Oh.
And I want to thank all the chat room listeners and typers and everybody, JC and XIACH and Techno Beach, because it is because of people, men and women like you, who have served, given up their life to make sure that we retain our freedoms. Thank you, for it is you and men and women like you that have made America the greatest country on the face of God's green earth. So thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you, Carrie.
Well, now I'll tell you what, that guy needs to run for office. That was quite a speech.
Yeah, Carrie, run for office down there in Florida.
No, brother. God, Almighty God got bigger and better things for me, my brother. Now, I'm glad you brought that up. That's Mr. Jacob, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's Mr. Jacob.
Would be me.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, Mr. Jacob, your upgrade is on its way. Mr. Dupree.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dupree.
Yes, sir.
Your upgrade is on its way.
Talk about it. I love that.
Mr. Bailey, your upgrade is on its way. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
So, now, hold on, real quick. Just to point something real quick out to you about the popular vote. The city of New York has 8.5 million people in it.
Right.
There are only a handful of states that once you get down to that's more people than live in Virginia.
I know.
That live in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
So Mr. Bailey you can't go by the vote. The founding fathers knew exactly what they were doing by setting this up.
That's right, man. I mean, look. I told Hutch that we need the popular vote. And
sorry.
I mean, wait.
Praying for you, my brother from another mother.
Wait. I told Hutch that we needed the electoral college, and he trying to come on this show.
There you go.
Come on this show.
You repented, my brother. There you go.
Did those votes ever come in from New Hampshire yet?
No, not yet.
Lord have mercy. But watch how fast things happen once
I'm waiting. You're right.
President Trump is in office. Oh, doesn't that sound good, my brothers? President Donald
J. Trump. How long have I been saying that? Anyway, I digress.
Believe me, I'm ready.
Change.
I'm ready.
Change is here. Thank you for your time, Mr. Dupree. And don't forget, your upgrade, it's on its way.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Hutch. I mean, you know
what?
Hutch, you can't come on this show and say the popular vote is the best thing. I mean, I'm already getting emails.
See how he is, man. See how he is, Jacob.
You know, I gotta say, I've been producing your show for, I don't know, what has it been, like 2 months now, 2.5 months, something like that. And I gotta tell you something, man. As a talk radio guy that's been doing this, I've been listening to talk radio for since I was 12 years old. So it was 16 years. God, I'm getting old. You definitely got some of the most eccentric, entertaining, and really heartwarming people I've ever listened to. I mean, it's great, man. It's one of those things when you sit down every day to produce a show. Sometimes I'm on my phone, I'm listening. It's kind of half in my ear. I'm changing the text down here at the bottom. You guys are watching right now. I'm doing all that while we talk, but. When you get the callers in, man, this is going back to a point earlier that one of the female callers made, talking about the media. This platform, RSBN, this platform is going to be the new thing. I have thought about this so many times. I drive 30 minutes from home to work and back, so I've got all this time when I'm driving. I don't even turn music on here lately, man. I'm just sitting around thinking, this is going to be something amazing, because it is about time that people have a voice in the media. I mean, it's about time that we stop doing this pundit and surrogates and all these people with these executive titles that really nobody gives a damn about at the end of the day. I mean, some of them have some great knowledge to bring to it. And of course, there are benefits to that. But at the same time, it's literally people saying, look, this is what you should believe. And I do admit, I'm perfectly fine with people being biased as long as they're open in their bias and they don't claim to be, bipartisan. I think that's the one thing that's going to make our network, it's going to be huge. I'm plugging us a little bit here, but obviously with you guys being on board with us and being kind of basically the first show that we had, we are so thankful to have you guys, because you are really giving people this. When they come and they listen to Wayne, they listen to Hutch, and they say, you know what? Wow, I mean, I hope there's more stuff like this here in the future. And I promise you guys, everybody listening, there is.
Jacob, I know we have a call on the line, Wayne, but, and the most, the important thing is that we can't be dry. We have to have some fun with it.
Yeah, we got
and you saw to it that you put Donald J. Trump's hair on Wayne last night. And that was just, I had to bring that up.
Yeah, I was going to.
He looked good too. He looked real good with that hair.
Whatever.
They're starting to call him Silky.
What?
And if you live in the city, if you live in the hood, you know what that means. But I'm just saying.
Hey, hashtag Silky, everybody. Spread that on Twitter.
That is wrong. Hashtag Silky. That was so wrong. Thank you, Hutch.
He's not gonna have fun at the barbecue this weekend, man. You know what I mean?
Look, I had to go back and look at the video, and I was so surprised when I looked down at the video and saw that hair. I was like, "What?"
Some poor woman was
dude, I was laughing. I'm sorry, I was laughing so hard because I knew that there was about, a 10-second delay from the studio here.
Right.
And when that woman was so serious in her, I felt so bad that I picked the worst time to do it. And she looked over, dude, you look like you're about to spit out something in your mouth. And Hutch starts laughing. I was dying, man.
Oh, my God. 217, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jonna, and I'm calling from Illinois.
Hi, Jonna. How are you?
Hi, Jonna. What part of Illinois, Jonna?
How are you? Decatur, right smack in the middle.
Cool. Yeah, I know where you're at. Cool.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
One is, I keep hearing that Obama is not going to hand over power to Trump. He's going to call martial law. Pretty much the world's going to go to hell, and we're all going to be stuck with him for another 48 years, which I'm not going to lie, less than thrills me.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That's not going to happen.
Conspiracy.
The United States Army will not let that happen.
Yeah, there's too much. I mean, there's too much regulation and things. Obviously, that's something that I hate to say it, but there are some conservative websites that are very guilty of making clickbait stuff like that.
Yes,
and,
yes, there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump is the 45th president of the United States of America.
Bank on it.
And it's going to happen.
Thank
Bank
God.
on it.
And it's going to be
Thank
the most
God. And-
magnificent inauguration that you ever saw, and every single leftist media outlet is going to cover it, and they have no choice.
And guess what? The address. Make sure you got some popcorn because it's going to be a while. it ain't going to be fast.
And then the other thing I was wanting to know about is my mom's flipping out over this. She heard on Trump radio or Republican radio that he's not going to give anybody insurance except old and rich people. And I'm like, oh my God, let me find out what's going on.
Tell your mom to turn off NPR
stuff.
Yeah, tell her to turn off NPR or
that's
tell her.
What I thought, and I can't tell her anything because I had to teach the woman to text, and she just.
How old is she?
She's out of state now, so it's very difficult.
How old is she?
She's in her early 50s.
My mom is 92 years old and texts me all the time.
I'm depressed, man. I am so depressed. Early 50s.
Yeah.
I'm in my mid 50s, and I'm like feeling young. But anyway, get her so she can watch RSBN and so she can listen to the Wayne Dupree program.
Yeah.
We'll put her right at ease.
I'll tell her about that. I'll try and get it across to her. And the other thing I wanted to know is this doesn't really apply to me because I'm straight, but I have friends that are scared to death that, they're going to have to split up their same-sex marriages and give up their children they've adopted. And I want to know what is the deal, because I've heard Mike Pence is absolutely just against that as you could possibly be, and I've heard Trump is as well.
You from Illinois, right?
There's no
I'm
evidence
from
of that.
Illinois.
I just want to
move. Just move.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They're confusing two issues. You don't have to believe in the homosexual lifestyle to accept that there's people that are like that.
Yeah.
Mike Pence does not believe in it, as I don't. But you do whatever you want.
I mean, Milo.
That makes any sense.
Milo kissed me on the head, but I ain't going on a date.
Yeah, he did.
Milo,
it does make sense. It does make sense, but what they have said is they've caught him on video saying that's the first thing to go.
I tell you what. If they caught it on video, tell them to prove it to you. Because I've never heard Donald Trump say that. I've never heard him say that.
No, they caught Pence saying it.
Who?
They caught Mike Pence saying it.
Oh, no, they didn't.
No, they didn't. I would have seen it myself. I assure you, I've got a lot of friends from Illinois. Like I mentioned everybody earlier, I'm from the Quad Cities, so I'm kind of northwest of you there, or I was anyways. And trust me, all of the friends that I have, I've somehow managed to keep my blood pressure in check and keep them on my list. I would have seen something like that. And if you do bring up something that's interesting, because that literally is at these protests. There's all these people riots. There's all these people that are making these comments about how I should say I call them the Tumblr warriors. The ones that are also doing the online blogging and stuff that are saying that they're headed for internment camps and all this nonsense. There's it's okay. It makes absolutely no sense.
Van Jones
There's no way
said
that he could do that. None.
Look, seriously, most of this stuff can happen. And Joanna, Jonna, thank you so much thank you so much for your call. Listen, people, these things that liberals are putting out there are just as crazy as Joe Biden saying that the Republicans want to put blacks back in chains. It's ridiculous. It's scary.
And Alex Jones saying that they're going to put people in FEMA camps.
Listen. America won't allow that to happen. The Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is for that.
Yep.
I mean, America
large capacity magazines.
It will not allow that.
Close to my heart.
So when you see crazy stuff like that, I'm still trying to find out where this pedophile thing is that all these people were tweeting out before the election. Because
it was dismissed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. If I read right, I think I saw I saw an excerpt from the Young Turks, their crappy little election show. One of the SJW videos that I watch, somebody had posted a clip that this woman went on a tangent about how, he was, and somebody kind of under the breath was like, well, it's actually been dropped. And then the whole subject was, I was dying because I'm like, hey, look, you just got schooled on your stupid crap. You know what I mean? So.
All these people, I mean, social media is good and it's bad.
But you have to filter it, man. You have to have an ironclad filter.
I'm serious. It's good and it's bad. Some of those people are out there getting those clickbaits, getting those shares and stuff off of.
We've all been busted.
I know I have. I know I have. And
Yep.
Same
thing happened. Same thing happened with that kind of assassination scare or whatever that happened a few weeks ago. A lot of people, I don't know if they know, but we were the first. I mean, we were of course doing that live. We had our camera guy there. We were actually the first ones, I believe, that put video up of that and got it out. And I couldn't tell you how many people ripped off that video. We were having to go through and see, just counting on our fingers and toes how many little YouTube channels and things were stealing that too, and naming them all kinds of different things like Islamist nearly takes out Trump and things like that. It's like, God, what? It's not even close. Well, the next thing they're saying is, guy's got a nuclear bomb pointing it at Trump. In the
and look,
I have to give Joe credit. Because he came out there many times during that and said, we're not sure yet. And he kept checking with you and whoever else was in the studio. A highly professional job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's going back to the whole, sensationalism stuff that comes with the media. Yeah. I understand that there is a business aspect of it. I mean, there's nobody's going to deny that because you have to make money. But we don't fool around with stuff that's, with somebody's life, with something being that important. And, when, after everything had kind of calmed down, and keep in mind, we were talking with somebody at the Trump campaign about this. There were a couple people that had
clear. You could tell from the broadcast that you were.
We were trying to see if there was some kind of connection with somebody had said something stupid in the chat room. I mean, and, they were taking that stuff seriously. They were very appreciative, of course, but, we sat afterwards. I had to make some tea, man, to calm down because that shook me up. I was the one that actually first saw it. I turned to Joe and I went, "Oh my God!" And Secret Service was just taking it behind the curtain and everything, and immediately we're on the phone, guys above it. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, we sat afterwards and talked about it. We thought, God, I mean, we were so nervous that something may have gotten caught and, that we had broadcast it live. And, we just got to talking about how, there are some really sick people out there. I mean, I'm not saying the mainstream media would do this, but there are some sick people out there that if something would have happened, God forbid, that, there would have been people that tried to make money off of that.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that's really nasty.
Hold on, wait a minute. Whoa. 212, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Brad, New York.
What's up, Brad?
Hey, man. Listen, I'm really pissed off, guys, with the media, and here's why. First of all, they're acting like these lunatics are stepping out of their apartments all organically in these big cities and saying, oh, let's protest this monster Donald Trump. These are all organized, as you know, you guys, but by George Soros. They are destroying cities. They're destroying properties through his groups. Why is this man not under arrest for organizing domestic terrorism and promoting domestic terrorism? And what the media is doing is literally criminal. I mean, Van Jones started it with this, anti-white stuff. And now on the internet, you are seeing anti-white, anti-Trump supporter stuff everywhere where it is exploding. And the media is lighting this fire. What the media is doing is yelling fire in a crowded theater. Yeah. And then you have nuts like Katy Perry saying, let's start a revolution, let's overthrow the government. I mean, this woman, this nutcase has 100 million or something Twitter followers.
Yeah.
Katy Perry is allowed to do that. I mean, these celebrities and the media and Soros, those three components, are trying to make it seem like America is freaking falling apart.
Caller, let me ask you a question. Are you white?
Yeah.
Are you white? Are you afraid?
No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. But
then don't worry about it.
I'm not worried. You know what I'm afraid of? You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about Mr. Trump's safety because I don't like what they're doing. And
he's going to be okay. And I appreciate your bringing this up. You're right. But I just want the listening audience to understand what you said is absolutely right. There are Craigslist announcements out there telling people you can make $15 to $18 an hour to defeat Trump, and don't worry about it. It's a false narrative.
But even with the media's, and this is my last point, I'll let you guys go, but even what the media is doing with, Oregon now wants to secede, California wants to secede. You got 4 nutbags in Oregon who sent a letter to the governor saying they want to secede, and now all of a sudden, Oregon wants out of the union because of Trump. It is so ridiculous what the media is doing. They are treasonous, and I hope that, these things do not continue, because they are really dividing people and really causing a lot of problems in this country for business owners getting their windows smashed. You guys know the deal, but I hope Soros is looked into eventually. And thanks for taking my call, Wayne, guys.
Hey,
think of how easy it would be to get. Think of how easy it would be to get a Republican or a conservative or a constitutionalist elected to the president if we didn't have to worry about Oregon and California's electoral votes. Let them go.
Yeah.
Let them go.
Yeah.
If they want to be communist countries, let them go.
Go ahead, Jake.
They'll starve on the West Coast.
Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. These are the same people that were in shock and laughing at the idea of Texas seceding. I mean, it's the same exact. Their hypocrisy literally knows no bounds. And I always quote Mr. Dr. Savage whenever liberalism is a mental disorder. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah.
And the first time I heard him say that, it really rung out. It's just. I mean, I don't know. I try to avoid the argument with people. If somebody posts, and I had a couple people do this, if they post a video of a celebrity, those stupid get out and vote videos, there were so many of them, and so many women, and they were so egregious. Yeah. I mean, they were painful, cringy, you name it. It hurt to watch them, literally. Physically, emotionally, mentally, it was painful to see. And I thought, there are people, sadly, that are persuaded by this stuff. Right, and is there any hope? Can you unify with people that really are listening to Lena Dunham and why you should be voting for somebody that we know is not actually a feminist?
Oh, that's a beautiful woman. She's so beautiful.
We got Tom from Florida. What's up, Tom? Tom, go ahead.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Hey. Show as always. First, quick note, and then I got an interesting thought process here about the state elections. Quick note. Chris Christie appears to be gone. He's slowly being pushed out the door, which is good.
Yeah.
And but I still worry about Ayotte and that Corker from Tennessee. Those two.
God.
They scare the hell out of me because their names keep coming up. I think they're push pulling themselves, but we'll see where it goes. Anyway, I ground some math here tonight, and I think it's really interesting. There's roughly 7,400 state legislature seats across the country now. We own 69 out of the 99 top legislatures. But here's where it gets interesting. During Obama's 8 years in state seats, we've gone from Republican from 3,200 to roughly 4,400. In other words,
he destroyed the party.
Yes, we've swung in 8 years from roughly 40% to 60% control. But here's where it gets more interesting. When you take away the dirty dozen, which is what I call the California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada. That's 4 on the left coast and 8 in the Northeast. We are now looking at numbers that are cataclysmic. In other words, when you take away the dirty dozen, you have roughly 90% Republican seats out of the remaining 38 states. Now, that's astounding.
One of the most important things to happen this cycle, of 50 states, 15 are controlled just by the governor, not necessarily the legislature.
Correct. Now,
by Democrats.
Here's an interesting summary to my ramblings, and I'll be quick. What we're looking at right now is a situation where instead of going hell-bent crazy on the federal side of things, I think we're gone about as far as we can go. I think it's time to start digging into these blue states.
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah, we've cracked.
Now is the time.
Yep.
Yeah, now's the time. 2018 is the time.
Yep.
And we've gotten. I mean, my goodness, when you get 90% of the Reds, you can't get much more. You just can't. So I think we're at the point now. 2018 is the big time. And I hope everyone understands, let's move off the federal side. Let's get the Senate. But let's really start hammering these blue states because I think it's doable.
And let's do it.
All right, Tom. Hey,
voter fraud.
Hey, Tom. Thanks. Thanks for your call, Dan. Hey, and Tom led into something, and we're getting ready to roll up out of here. But Tom led into something just a few minutes ago about 2018. Remember at the beginning of the show, I said something big is coming. So stick with us. Stick with us. And just remember, and the reason why I'm telling you now is so that I don't hear, I got to work, I can't make it. And look, something is coming. And we are going to be on the front lines for it, okay? We are America. Remember that. And I don't care. And I'm glad that President-elect Trump he'll be president by then, but I'm glad he's going to be in office. But we want more conservatives in those seats, and it's very important. And you, me, Jacob, Hutch, we have. Our voices have to do this. So this is something that you probably won't see. Nobody's thinking about it, but I thought about it a couple months ago. Told Hutch about it, and believe me, it's working behind the scenes. That's all I have to say. It's working behind the scenes. I want to thank Mr. Jacob Seals for joining us tonight. And
you're the man, Wayne. You're the man. You know it.
Oh, stop it. Okay. All right. Fine. I'll take that. Jacob, how can people reach you on social media?
Oh, man. All right. Well, I think it's at Jacob RSBN Music. I don't get on my Twitter that much. You can also, I've got a Facebook page too, so you can always find me there. I will say too, I'm just throwing a little teaser out there. Very possible there might be a music-oriented type conservative show coming to the network with Moi hosting. Who knows? I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there. I'm not saying it's confirmed, but let's hope for that because.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He got lost in the music, I guess.
Somebody just pulled his plug.
That's enough of that.
Okay, all right. Hey, Hutch, how can people reach out to you on social media?
Hey, I'm Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook, Berg's Eye View on Twitter. Go to rsbn.tv. You can download Jacob Seals' music. Good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just type in Wayne Dupree Show. Somebody asked, was there any noon shows? Right now, we have scaled it back. We have did what we had to do. We are doing evening shows, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Spreaker and RSBN TV. So from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be back on Monday. And y'all have a great and beautiful weekend. God bless.